Developments in South Suburban Dalton today. First, the state comptroller has suspended some payments to the village because it has failed to follow the law by providing financial.
Coming in, unfortunately, we knew it was going to be a little messy, but it's just something we felt important that had to be done, that should be done. So.
The community is being rocked to its core by a developing scandal that revolves on Tiffany Henyard, the unstable mayor of Dalton, Illinois. The charges are more serious this time, more explosive as speculation swirls around shocking new details surrounding Carmen Carlo, a former Henyard's aide who is now coming forth as a whistleblower. Carlo is the only person allegedly aware of all of Henyard's darkest secrets, and new accusations suggest that Henyard may have used gang members to threaten or perhaps silence him, transforming what began as a typical political issue into something more sinister. The idea of a sitting mayor engaging in such unlawful activity is nearly unbelievable. Such behavior is better suited for a Hollywood drama than real life thus far. During Henyard's tenure, a string of scandals, each more stunning than the last, have shaken what was once a small, tranquil town. Due to the peculiar and progressively menacing nature of the situation in Dalton, which has left many locals questioning whether anything is impossible, her leadership is under close scrutiny for everything from financial mismanagement to allegations of unethical expenditures. The latest development, however, has the potential to make the situation worse. Once having faith in Henyard's confidant, Carmen Carlo claimed to have turned into a whistleblower and released incriminating evidence that might link the mayor to several criminal acts. But rumors suggest that Henyard's reaction to this treachery has gone far beyond political plotting, with claims that she used gang members to quiet Carlo. These allegations, if confirmed, would paint Henyard in a very different light and reveal a leader who may have acted illegally out of desperation to protect her political career. Dalton's residents are shocked and unable to accept that she'd done this. The village is at the epicenter of a maelstrom of corruption, treachery, and even bloodshed despite its desire for a tranquil and stable community. Henyard's contentious employment of a police protection detail has been one of the most troubling parts of her term, and the drama is far from over. As the investigation goes on, locals are left with more questions than answers and ask whether Henyard will ever be held responsible for her conduct. The mayor's decision to remove police officers from the streets to protect herself has sparked concerns about whether public safety should take precedence above individual protection. Betrayal has damaged the once close working relationship between Allegiance and Carlos, and his sudden transition from loyal ally to whistleblower has shocked many. This decision has garnered a lot of attention, especially in light of the accusations made against her former assistant, Carmen Carlo, and the sudden change in vehicle. In Dalton's political milieu, there are many conjectures regarding Carlos's reasons for removing his face. Some argue that it was a self-defense tactic rather than a heroic demonstration against corruption. Carlo's decision to reveal Henyard is regarded by some as brave, despite others' charges of opportunism, that she only stepped out when it suited her interests and when her position inside Henyard's administration became untenable. Carlos's revelations have had a considerable impact, regardless of her motivations. Allegations of financial misconduct, unethical leadership, and illegal behavior are currently plaguing the municipality, all of which have eroded public trust in Henyard's administration. The problem surrounding Henyard has only gotten worse as a result of the several negative pieces of evidence that have come to light. Henyard's critics, many of whom were already irritated by her management style, saw Carla's disclosures as the tipping point because more and more charges of poor management and financial irresponsibility are emerging at a startling rate, exacerbated the crisis. Carlos's actions have clearly damaged the TR trust between the mayor and her citizens and further damaged Henyard's already fragile reputation, raising serious questions about accountability and transparency in Dalton's political system. As the controversy continues to unfold, Dalton's trustees, many of whom are finding it difficult to deal with the shifting political landscape, have been taken aback by the latest events and have called in a legal advisor to help manage the issue. New topics and disagreements come up every day, and Dalton's political conversation is evolving swiftly. It's unknown if Hen will make it through the storm or if the scandal will be the end of her political career. More is likely to follow in the days ahead. The town's leadership is currently in disarray. Following revelations and a one-day purchase of almost $40,000 from Amazon, the stakes have never been higher for the embattled mayor, her former aide, and the residents of Dalton. Carmen is the most crucial element. In Dalton, Illinois, Carlisle, once the confidant and trusted assistant of Mayor Tiffany Henyard, is at the center of a political conflagration. Her sudden shift from loyal ally to whistleblower has upended the town's political system, leaving both residents and officials perplexed about her reasons and the implications of her disclosures. It is crucial to consider Carmen's previous intimate relationship with Henyard in order to comprehend why her name is now associated with political intrigue. For some time, being an important member of the administration and a longtime member of Henyard's inner circle, Carmen had access to some of the most delicate conversations and choices the mayor made. Numerous others have speculated that Carmen might have even profited from questionable methods like the purported misappropriation of city finances for private gain. On the surface, it appeared that Carmen was well positioned to benefit from the workings and trade secrets of a mayoral administration that was already the subject of close investigation. Public scrutiny. However, Carmen recently exposed Henyard's crimes after making the startling decision to turn against her old boss rather than support him. Others accuse Carmen of opportunism, saying that she only spoke out when it benefited her, and after her position inside Henyard's government had become compromised. However, several supporters praise Carmen for being a brave whistleblower who confronted corruption. Unsupportable Carmen's choice to come out has had a tremendous impact, not only because it has exposed a lot of harmful information, but also because it has intensified the already increasing controversies regarding Henyard's leadership, since accusations of financial wrongdoing, unethical leadership, and unlawful conduct have now taken center stage in the developing crisis. These discoveries have upended the core of Dalton's municipal politics. Carmen's criticism of Henyard has damaged the mayor's reputation. It is becoming clear that Carmen's actions have exacerbated the mayor's already problematic reputation as the drama surrounding Henyard's administration reaches new heights. Carmen's disclosures are seen by many who were already dissatisfied with her management style as the turning point, since the public's confidence in Henyard leadership is being further eroded by the alarmingly frequent emergence of new charges of financial irresponsibility and poor management, tackling crucial concerns of transparency and responsibility within Dalton's political system. Although some saw Carmen as a hero battling for justice in a community overrun by scandal, others question her motivations, questioning whether speaking up was driven more by self-preservation than by a genuine desire to right the wrong she had previously committed. The Henyard's administration scandals and Carmen's name are now intimately linked. As the inhabitants of Dalton watch these events unfold with growing alarm, the trustees in Dalton, many of whom have been taken off guard by these occurrences, are desperately attempting to decide what to do next. Many people are left wondering whether this discovery will permanently alter the direction of local politics and how far its repercussions will spread. Legal advice has been sought to help negotiate the rapidly shifting political landscape in Dalton, where new problems and disputes are appearing daily and the political rhetoric is evolving. It is clear from the drama that Carmen Carlisle's decision to speak up has ignited a blaze that is unlikely to extinguish anytime soon. Dalton is going through a political upheaval right now, and the leadership of Henyard is on the line. The stakes for the troubled mayor, her former aide, and the residents of Dalton could not be higher, since there will surely be more discoveries in the coming days. To exacerbate the situation, a harsh investigation of the village's financial situation is underway, shows a catastrophic decline under Henyard's direction. Due to Henyard's terrible financial management, the town of Dalton, Illinois, which had a $561 million surplus and was previously financially solid, is now facing a startling $365 million loss. Due to this, the town's future is now unknown, and its mayor, Tiffany Henyard, is at the center of a historic legal and political crisis, with her political future in jeopardy. Questionable spending patterns. In the midst of this financial catastrophe, Henyard's leadership has come under intense scrutiny, especially after former aide Carmen Carlisle came forward as a whistleblower and threatened to bring down her entire political empire. Carmen's evidence has upset Henyard, since she has inside knowledge of the dark secrets of Henyard's administration, having participated in and witnessed many of the questionable acts under investigation. Powerful adversary who might expose Henyard's wrongdoing and lead to criminal prosecution. But as Henyard copes with more than simply Carmen's treachery, the strain mounts. Henyard's political survival is no longer the only concern. He now has to avoid major legal ramifications, such as possible jail time should Carmen's allegations prove to be reliable. Former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot has launched a special investigation into Henyard's financial mismanagement, despite Henyard's desperate attempts to Carmen's startling testimony, and this probe have made Henyard more vulnerable. The stakes for her future could not be higher, and her efforts to conceal the truth are failing faster than she can manage. Henyard's legal and political future is uncertain, despite the mounting evidence against her, leaving the community at a crossroads. Her concerns were overturned by the town board, enabling Lightfoot to continue the investigation. Dalton, as though many believe that Henyard has used a combination of patronage, intimidation, and strategic connections to keep her adversaries at bay and her allies near. Despite the growing list of accusations, but a troubling suspicion has emerged that Henyard might be connected to the local criminal underworld. After her former assistant, Carmen Carlisle, was allegedly attacked, this allegation acquired further traction. The town is left wondering, as the investigation goes on, how deep the residents of Dalton, who are in dire need of answers, are anxiously awaiting the conclusion of the explosive confrontation that is being set up by the disintegration of Henyard's government. The future of the town is in jeopardy as Henyard fights for its life against mounting political and criminal resistance. It remains to be seen how far Henyard will go to protect herself and her legacy as the political and legal storms intensify. The city seems to be on the cusp of a new era, with its future uncertain and its residents demanding accountability for the years of corruption and subpar administration under Henyard's authority, as the collapse of Dalton's leadership becomes an undeniable fact. Carmen Carlisle, who was formerly a staunch supporter of Mayor Tiffany Henyard, is now the whistleblower whose shocking embezzlement of public funds for personal indulgences is upending the town's political structure. This notion is theoretical, but considering the concerning pattern of questionable behavior, it is not impossible. For instance, her lavish shopping trips, first-class flights, five-star hotels, and luxury holidays have all sparked serious concerns about her responsibility and priorities. It is reasonable to infer that Hansard might go even farther to defend her position, perhaps utilizing local gangs or other criminal elements to quiet people who threaten her authority if she is ready to waste public resources for her own pleasure. Henyard's apparent lack of responsibility and the increasing violence surrounding her administration are the subject of increased conjecture as federal investigators and local residents continue to unearth the full depth of her suspected malfeasance. According to some, Henyard's influence over Dalton extends beyond straightforward political scheming, and she might be assisting covert criminal organizations such as gangs or illegal forces in order to hang on to her position of authority. But it's unclear how far she's prepared to go. It is uncertain if there is a risk of further injury in order to protect her authority. The investigation is getting closer to exposing the full scope of Henyard's misconduct with each passing day. Concern has already been raised by her extravagant personal spending patterns and lack of financial accountability. Claims that she spent public money on lavish indulgences more befitting a celebrity than a small-town mayor have infuriated Dalton residents. They think while hard-earned tax dollars are being wasted on a lifestyle that only benefits Henyard with no discernible improvements for the community, Henyard Blatton's flagrant disregard for accountability and her hostile attitude towards those who challenge her authority have alienated many of her constituents. One neighbor expressed the mounting annoyance by saying, "You're not qualified for that seat. You're not accountable, and you don't respect people who disagree with you." This opinion demonstrates an increasing lack of faith in calls for Henyard's resignation, and leadership are getting louder every day, and there is growing momentum for taking legal action or perhaps holding a recall election to remove her from office. Dalton's residents are clearly tense and will no longer tolerate a mayor who treats the neighborhood badly. There is a sense of urgency to justice, and the atmosphere as talk of rallies, petitions, and a campaign to remove Henyard grows. Dalton used to be a thriving town that was thought to be comparatively. Henyard's financial activities have been the primary focus of the present FBI investigation, but it is also revealing a deeper web of corruption in which public funds were purportedly misappropriated to pay for Henyard's personal indulgences. The affluent city is currently struggling with high debt and an increasing number of disenchanted citizens, many of whom feel deceived by a mayor they believe has mishandled money and betrayed their confidence. These revelations have led to a surge in calls for Henyard's resignation. Many residents now think it is only a matter of time until she is removed from office, either through legal action or the will of the people. as the walls close in around her, her attempts to maintain control have become more desperate. The growing chorus of voices demanding justice is becoming impossible to ignore, and the situation in Dalton has turned into a high-stakes battle for the town's future. Dalton's citizens are fed up with being residents of Dalton, Illinois, are determined to retake their town and restore integrity to local government as Mayor Tiffany Henyard's political empire continues to fall apart. They are joining together to demand change because they are fed up with the corruption and poor management. As the people of Dalton unite in their demand for justice, accountability, and a government that genuinely serves the interests of its citizens, the age of Henyard's so-called super mayor rule may be coming to an end. The neighborhood and ongoing investigations, Henyard's term, seems to be coming to an end, and the people of Dalton don't want to keep watching while a corrupt mayor destroys their town. Federal investigators. Despite growing pressure, Dalton's unchecked authority is quickly coming to an end as state prosecutors and even the Illinois Attorney General are now focusing on him. Henyard declines to step down and denies any misconduct, rejecting the charges as baseless assaults from political rivals and irate former employees. But as the evidence against her mounts, it is becoming increasingly impossible for her to deny the accusations. One of the most dramatic developments in the case is Carmen Carlisle's transformation from a devoted supporter to a whistleblower, which further undermines Henyard's case. There are differing views on Carlisle's position as the investigation into Henyard's actions focuses more on all parties and raises the stakes. Some people believe she is a true whistleblower, while others don't, intentions that suggest she may have struck a bargain with the police to avoid facing charges. This viewpoint calls into question whether Caroline's transformation was a sincere act of guilt or a self-preservation measure to avoid being associated with the violation. The situation in Dalton had become much more complex now, including not only Henyard, but also a web of people who either tolerated her actions or chose to overlook them. Dalton's governance system appears to be in danger of disintegrating as investigations continue. Henyard's alleged corruption may have been extensive, including numerous individuals in her administration, since more of her erstwhile allies have come out with charges. The residents of Dalton are calling on the mayor to answer for his actions as the pressure grows. While some people still refer to Carlisle as a hero, others contend that her actions are self-serving and cast doubt on whether she is actually attempting to expose wrongdoing or is merely avoiding legal action. Due to her financial mismanagement, abuse of public monies, and arrogant disregard for the concerns of her residents, the town feels betrayed and resentful. Since the matter is rapidly reaching a tipping point, and it seems certain that Henyard's career in office will end, many people wonder if she will ultimately be held responsible for her conduct. One thing is certain, however, it's unknown if the residents of Dalton will kick her out via the courts or by popular consent, are unwilling to allow their community to be destroyed by an untrustworthy mayor. It is uncertain whether Carmen Carlisle is genuinely a whistleblower or if she is merely attempting to defend herself. Time will tell, but one thing is certain: the town's destiny is now in doubt and the Dalton drama is far from done. Thanks for watching.